They fought before, they're going to do it again. Tim Thurston, representing Revolution Fight Team out of Surrey, British Columbia, takes on Jaime Hendry from Wolf Self-Defense in North Vancouver.
My name's Tim Thurston. I train at Revolution Martial Arts. What I like about mixed martial arts is it's a full package. It's a real deal. You can do everything in it. I mean, if it works, do it. There's nothing holding you back. There's no restraints. Anything you can do, you can do. It's wide open. I think what I do differently than my competitors is I have a lot of striking background, and I know I can change a fight with one punch with either hand. My game plan is always the same. I'm going to step in there. I'm going to try and knock them out.
I'm Jaime Hendry. I'm fighting out of North Vancouver, and I'm representing Wolf Self-Defense. The discipline, the courage, everything, man. You got to put it all in there, put it all on the line, no matter win, lose, or draw. It's just go for it. I would never realized how much went into their training, man. So you got to give up so much and put in everything you got, or it's all your heart and soul, or nothing. The most enjoyable part is putting everything together that you've been training so hard to do, and actually getting in there and making it happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 5'8" and weighing in at 169 pounds, fighting for the Revolution Fight Team out of Langley, British Columbia, Tim Thurston.
More than any other mixed martial artist I've seen, Tim Thurston has a heavy boxing bias. You give him his choice, he will do nothing but stand and trade blows with his opponent, punch, and that's all he likes to do. He's won a great deal of his fights with his heavy fists.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the black corner, he stands at 6'1", weighs in at 168 pounds. He trains in Vancouver. Bring on Jaime Hendry.
Here comes Jaime Hendry. He's representing Wolf Self-Defense out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. So you can expect Jaime Hendry to have very well-rounded skills and some excellent coaches.
And also Wolf's the Canadian home base of K1 superstar Michael the Black Sniper McDonald. So I would expect Jamie's kickboxing to be top-notch. Thurston, another representative of the Revolution Fight Team, coached by Todd Gallenberg and Bill the Butcher Mahood. Thurston's well known as a former professional boxer, even more so than his compatriot Tyler TNT Jackson. I expect Thurston to try to get his hands to fire and force the standing fight.
Well, it looks like Jaime Hendry is going to have quite the reach advantage here, so if Tim Thurston wants to use his boxing, he's going to have to penetrate through the jab and maybe fight from a closer distance than Hendry would prefer.
Well, I'll tell you, if Hendry's smart, he is going to do exactly that and try to keep Thurston at the end of his jab, because Thurston has KO powers.
There's immediately the jab by Jaime Hendry. Probably going to try and keep Tim Thurston at a distance and look to use his superior reach advantage to inflict some damage on the face of Tim Thurston.
Now, in Thurston's last fight in National Fighting Challenge, he fought Marcus Vinicius, who we'll be seeing later on in tonight's card. And Thurston was taken down almost at will by Vinicius several times in the early going of the fight. We'll see if Thurston's takedown defense has evolved since that fight.
Well, I'm not sure if Jaime Hendry's even going to go for the takedown. I know training where he does it, Wolf Self-Defense in North Vancouver, they do striking, takedowns, jiu-jitsu, the whole kit and caboodle, but it looks like here like he just basically wants to box. I'm not sure how smart that is with Tim Thurston.
Well, like you said, Hendry enjoying a sizable reach advantage, so depending on what his skills are. I mean, I haven't seen Hendry tested to the extent that I've seen Thurston tested. Perhaps it's the right idea for Hendry to do, and he is working those leg kicks, which is an excellent idea for somebody whose experience is more toward boxing, where you might not be used to checking those.
Tim Thurston looks from here like he's basically looking to counterpunch. Jaime Hendry using that jab and that long lead kick to maintain that distance. If Thurston can penetrate through that jab, he might be able to land some uppercuts, some hooks, or even go for a takedown once he gets inside that long reach of Hendry.
Thurston counter-punching well. I mean, when he is at the end of the jab, he steps back. When he's got a little bit of less distance between him and Hendry, after a punch, after a kick, he's responding well.
And there's Hendry using that kick, and Thurston seems to be using more of an overhand right while Hendry's sticking more with a jab. So we'll see how that plays out as the fight goes along.
Thurston almost stalking Hendry, and standing just outside his range as much as he can, and then leaping in with that right hand when he sees the opportunity.
He almost caught a kick there. He sort of tried to catch the leg and then threw an overhand right, which is something you see happen quite a bit in mixed martial arts these days. Igor Vovchanchin made that technique very popular. Whenever someone would throw a kick at him, he'd catch the heel and then come across with a big overhand right.
Yeah, he used it very effectively, and I think the way that Igor's right hand landed, Thurston's right hand would have a similar effect if Hendry were to catch it on the chin.
Well, that's just it. If you lift your leg off the ground, whether you're kicking or doing whatever, I mean, that's one less leg on the ground, so your balance isn't as good. So if you get, knocked in the jaw, that's half as much flesh keeping you up, so you'll fall down all that easier.
Thurston really responding well with that right hand, letting Hendry know every time he sticks his hand out there, he runs the risk of eating a right hand lead. And again, firing out that right hand with KO power and speed behind it.
Yeah, I don't know how much damage Hendry's inflicting with that jab. I think he's using it more to sort of maintain a distance than really inflict any kind of damage. Well, the punches of Thurston, they all have bad intent.
That they do. They're a lot heavier, and I think Hendry would be well advised to kick the lead leg more. I mean, he is landing that leg kick when he throws it, and once again, landing it again, but not throwing it that often.
Tim Thurston almost caught it again there. Jaime Hendry might want to go with more of a throw the jab also through a right straight, like keep him at a distance with the jab and then do some damage with the right. There's a straight kick, but he seems to be just sort of preoccupied with maintaining that distance and not so much inflicting damage. Meanwhile, Tim Thurston obviously has some bloodthirst in his eyes and looks to be closing the distance and throw some bombs.
Oh, Thurston's like a pit bull. I mean, he's been in so many fights. He's so experienced. He really does stalk his prey around the ring. He's willing to let it degenerate into a brawl. He knows that he's got a tough chin. He's willing to take a shot to give a shot, and he knows if it comes to a punching war, he's probably going to come out on top.
Jaime Hendry mixing his jab with some kicks to the inside and the outside of the leg. And Tim Thurston not really kicking so much as sort of just maintaining that sort of boxer's base and coming in with those looping shots.
It looks to me like Hendry has now tasted Thurston's power, and he's a bit intimidated by it. He seems a lot more hesitant, whereas Thurston, even though he's eating those leg kicks, he's also starting to land hard shots. You see a left hook right straight there. And he's really starting to find his rhythm, find his range, and be able to force his fight. Yeah,
as the fight wears along, you see Tim Thurston's coming more and more forward, and Jaime Hendry seems to be backing up more and more. Still using that jab, but a little less offensive, a little more defensive from Jaime Hendry. There's some good punches from Tim Thurston.
Thurston really showing probably the best boxing skills we have seen tonight at Elite Fighting Championships. Now mixing it up, body shot and a left hook to the head.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of body shots these days in mixed martial arts, but they're all together effective. I mean, getting punched in the ribs, getting punched in the solar plexus, that hurts. Oh, there's a full turnaround from Jaime Hendry. Looked like he was going to throw a kick and then did the full spiral. That could spell trouble. Don't turn your back on your opponent.
More and more hesitation in his strikes, more tentativeness. And to me, that shows that he's hurting, that Tim Thurston is hurting him. Whereas Thurston, like I said, finding his range, stalking, pursuing Hendry across the ring and landing thunderous lefts and rights. Hendry's in trouble.
Hendry really is in trouble, and he's waving him on, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing. Sometimes fighters who are hurt say, come on, and try and prove they're not, but...
No, that brings to a close a very dominant round by Tim Thurston. And like I said, showed what an experienced fighter he is by feeling out Hendry for the first half and then forcing his own fight for the second. See, snapping Hendry's head back with a big right hand. Every single one of Thurston's punches has got the speed behind it, got his hips behind it, his shoulders behind it. He's using textbook boxing technique here and forcing a boxing fight.
Yeah, and those looping punches, they don't just go after the head, but they also knock the hands away and set up subsequent punches that come thereafter.
That's right. Definitely, in my mind, a very, very clear-cut first round for Tim Thurston of the Revolution Fight Team.
And you have to wonder what Jaime Hendry is going to bring into the next round to counteract that aggression in those punches by Tim Thurston.
Well, Thurston, even though he's being very effective with it, by comparison to Hendry, he could be described as a one-trick pony right now. He's winning this fight with boxing skills. Hendry's got to mix it up. He's got to fight like a kickboxer, perhaps try to even take Thurston off his feet, which he hasn't really tried to do in this fight. Like I said before, Marcus Aurelius was almost taking Thurston down at will. And perhaps that's a better game plan for Hendry in this second round because he has not been doing well by trying to punch with Tim Thurston, which is something that anybody who scouted Tim could have told you from the outset.
Well, a taller fighter can have the advantage even when it comes to takedowns on a shorter fighter because that long reach advantage not only works well for jabs, but it also means that it's that much easier to change levels and get your arms around your opponent's legs and drive them to the mat. I've done some jiu-jitsu with guys that are 6'6", 6'7", and when they change levels and come at your legs, it's hard to stop them because they're already penetrated right in on your hips because of that long reach advantage. So maybe that's something that Jaime Hendry is going to be doing in this round, and maybe that's something his corner man